Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. My name is Taylor, and welcome back to the OverAchievers Podcast, episode 39, Soul Searching. Today, I have not one, but two very special guests. One is a regular, one has not been on the podcast since episode 5. Quite literally would have come out 34 months ago at the time this one will release, but that is not to say I've not been in contact with both of them. Please help me welcome both John and Chris.
Hooray, episode 5.
It's good to be here, buddy. It's episode 5, yeah, the World of Warcraft one.
That's
that was
insane.
A long time ago. Oh my goodness.
I was almost 3
I feel
years,
so
right?
old. Yeah, that 34 months would be just too much shy of 3 years.
That's
oh my
insane.
God.
I would have said like a
Too
year.
much shot. My kid was a baby at that point. He was like he could. I was probably holding him in one of my forearms while I
Oh
was
my
doing
God.
that podcast.
Probably.
Now
That's
he's outside
crazy.
somewhere. I have no idea where.
Yeah, hard to
Today's
believe.
episode...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's hard to believe this is the first time the three of us have done an episode together. Considering
I've wanted to get
Oh,
both of you guys
yeah.
on at the same time and forever, but Chris isn't that much of an achievement hunter, which is fine.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, I like achievements in some games, but it's very specific games. Souls
Yeah.
games are one of those. I've achievement hunted in Souls games before, of course, and as well as World of Warcraft, but honestly, not many. The only other one that I've actually achievement hunted in is Left 4 Dead.
Oh, interesting.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I got almost all of the ones, but one of the ones was like kill 130,000 zombies or something.
Oh my
like that.
God.
I was grade 10 or 11 at that point, so I was like, okay, I can't do this. Like, this is just too, it's just way too much.
You're like, I've got free time, but not that much free time.
Not that much, yeah.
I mean, wait, does it count if your friends play with you? Do their kills count as yours?
No, it's your own kills. You
Oh
have
my
to
God,
get like
okay.
100
boy.
and some thousand kill shots on zombies. It's insane. I think I only ever got up to like 40,000 or something.
Oh my God.
That's
That's
nuts.
a weird achievement.
Yeah, I played it for like a year, or half a year or something too. Like half of my Steam friends are from my hardcore Left 4 Dead days, and
Wow.
yeah,
God.
it just couldn't come together.
No.
That's like it just kind of like demoralized me. There's other games that I love achievement hunting in, of course, but jeez, when the first time you try it fails, it's difficult to want to do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It is a rough experience and a rough business for sure. So, as I'm sure by the title, by the thumbnail, all that kind of stuff, you guys have realized we're not talking about one specific game today. Today, I wanted to talk about just Souls-like in general, the general gameplay experience around them, as well as, at the very end, the achievement experience around them, just to tie it in with the podcast, because we have covered a ton of Souls-likes on the channel, both my channel and John's, linked down below, and they offer very different experiences, and I think over the years we have all formed semi-different opinions about them, and I'm curious to see how they kind of mix and maybe clash with one another.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear some of Chris's answers here, because I feel like we've probably discussed Souls-likes before, but I feel like
Yeah,
Chris not so much.
yeah, no, I haven't really much, and I actually feel like I play Souls likes quite differently from you guys, in general.
Probably.
Oh, 100%.
We'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I'm excited.
We're gonna start, Chris. We're gonna start with you on this one because I'm curious about this. As a fan of Souls-likes, what kind of initially drew you into the genre, and what keeps you going? What keeps you engaged in it?
Man, this one actually took me back. Back when I was during my party days, my buddy Pierce refused to come out partying, and I was like, "What could possibly be so important that you would refuse to come out right now?" And he's like, "Dark Souls 2."
My man.
Yeah, and he's like,
Doesn't
that was
party
the night it
plays
came
this
out.
too?
That was actually the launch night, the night it came out.
Wow.
And I was like, come on, there's got to be something to this. I heard nothing but amazing things about the original Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2 is looking at good. Of course, it was a flop after all. Sorry, John. But
what?
but yeah, I pirated Dark Souls 1 that night after I got home, and I have been addicted ever since. What keeps me coming back is just like, I really don't know a gameplay loop that's better than it. It's awesome. It's like I try against a boss or I try against some mobs, I either die or I retry. It's simple. It's fun, and It's just gameplay boiled down to exactly what I love about it. So that's my answer, I guess.
Okay. So, interesting. I was not expecting Dark Souls 2 to be like your first real exposure to it.
That was the triggering factor. I did try Dark Souls 1 first.
Okay.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Quite similar to mine, actually.
Really?
Well, John, let's hear yours.
So yeah, when the channel first started, I don't think Dark Souls 2 was even out at that point, but I was encouraged by a couple of friends to try out Dark Souls 1 because they really liked it. You know, it was very early days of the channel. They were like, yeah, we'll watch you play Dark Souls. So I think I did like 6 episodes or something on the first Dark Souls. It was just a real struggle. I think I like just killed Taurus Demon and then quit because it was too hard for me. I wasn't really having fun. And then probably like a year or 2 later, I was watching some like Game of the Year videos from the Yogscast.
And they absolutely dunked on Dark Souls 2.
And one of the members, Rydian, his game of the year, I think it was like 2014, was Dark Souls 2. And I was like, Dark Souls, huh?
Horrible take.
That sounds very
And, and like, just the way he was talking about it, because Rydian's got a real way with words and a really great voice, but the way he was talking about it and like how it looked on the screen, I was like, it just looks so good. And I think I picked it up on like that winter sale and kind of struggled with it. And then just it clicked for me, and then I was just sucked into Dark Souls from that point on. I went back to Dark Souls 1 and, you know, everything after that.
Oh, interesting.
That makes so much sense. That's almost identical experience. But
Right?
even though I did start it with Dark Souls 1, like Dark Souls 2 was actually the first that I beat all the way through.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
It was
Mine is
sorry. It was
thankfully
really difficult.
different.
Yes.
What was
Mine
yours,
is
Taylor?
totally different. Okay. Not to name drop, not to brag. My cousin is the former speedrunner Nax HPO. So I was exposed to Dark Souls through him. Like I would visit him during the summers, and I would be there when he was streaming. I would watch him do these things in Dark Souls. I was like, okay, this game looks hard. This game looks interesting. I also thought in my 12-year-old brain, hey, this game looks like crap. Admittedly, the graphics are not pretty. So
Fair.
I finally saw Dark Souls in a Blockbuster, and I was like, let me try this. Could not even get through the
Blockbuster?
first level. Yeah.
Really?
You're not old enough to have seen a blockbuster.
No way.
Oh, shut
A
up. I loved
Blockbuster video?
Blockbuster.
Oh my goodness.
So I tried Dark Souls. I was like, no, I can't do this. This sucks. Like and again, I was a kid. I still am horrible at games. But I could not get past it. I could not wrap my head around how people found this enjoyable. It was absolutely not.
Where'd you quit? Do you
then,
remember?
Oh, I couldn't even make it through. I couldn't even make it past the dragon in the first. Like I couldn't make it. Well, I don't even know if I made it to Taurus Demon. I think Taurus Demon was as far as I got.
Honestly, fair.
Yeah.
And then, a couple years pass, I moved from... I was on Xbox 360 at the time, so that also didn't help. Just terrible frame rates, terrible everything. I love the 360, but it does not compare. So I went to university, 18, got a PC, and I met 2 guys, one of which I connected to pretty easily, one of which hated me at first.
That wasn't very nice of you to hate him, Chris. He was okay.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, easygoing Chris.
I don't know if there's anybody.
And
I
thankfully,
really hate.
we trauma bonded over our shared hatred of another coworker.
Yeah, that was nice.
Man, I'm
And
so
then-
easygoing.
and
I
then
somehow managed to
One
go
of them,
to a
I think his name
festival.
was John, was like, "Hey, are you?" He was talking to Chris, not even me at the time. He was like, "Hey, are you interested in Dark Souls 3?" And because I was kind of on the periphery of John's friend group, so to speak, but more close with Chris at the time, I was like, "What?" I had heard about Dark Souls 3, or I'd heard about Dark Souls, obviously, but I had never heard about Dark Souls 3, so I was like, I was interested. And it was from that point, well, we played Overwatch first, which was
Something.
and then it was
Great videos.
something. And then we played Dark Souls 3, and I think since then I have enjoy the Souls experience, not necessarily for the gameplay, though it is fantastic in certain games. I want to specify in certain games, not Dark Souls 2.
What the? I'm not standing for this slander.
To me, Dark Souls has always been, at its core, community experience to spend time with my friends. I mean, you've seen, hopefully at least, the episodes that I've covered Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I did all of those with John, right? And I can't imagine doing those experiences, playing these games solo. So that's what keeps me coming back, is there's the occasional one that will bring me in solo, and I was like, I really enjoy it, but most of the time for me, it is a community, a cooperative experience with friends. You can call me a filthy casual, I don't care. I may not be playing the games the way you intended, but it's the way I intend and I want to.
Yeah, I think it kind of speaks volumes that you didn't play the Elden Ring DLC solo. Like, that was literally just to play with us, which is totally fine, totally valid. But yeah, I think that does kind of speak to that they really are just a vehicle for you to play with us.
I mean, like, honestly, Night Rain
No,
would
absolutely.
be something that's, like, right up your alley, thinking about it. If, like, the co-op experience is, like, the best part of it. Honestly, it is for me, too. I completely agree with you there. Like, the co-op has turned around those games entirely to me. I really loved them before, but I can actually, like, do what I want to do with them when I'm with you guys. Otherwise, I kind of just have to play, like, a knight or a mage or something like that.
Yes.
With you guys, I can actually, like, play a build that does a ton of damage, and I can just roll with and not block anything, and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys make it a lot more fun.
Yeah, like
I'd be
whenever...
curious to try Night Rain, but I don't know, I'm still skeptical.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be fun at a cheaper price.
Yeah, that's the
fair.
exact point of view. I think it's actually going to be a really, really fun game once it's cheaper.
Do you see it's got like time-gated content already, though?
Oh,
That's
wait, what?
Pretty bad.
There's like bosses that are only around for like a week, and then they're gone.
Oh, don't do this live service.
I know.
No.
Live
I hate it.
service,
But again, like maybe...
Bye-bye
Maybe-
enthusiasm.
On the same vein, speaking of live service, this is a really quick side note. One time my kid turned on my Xbox, and this is back when I had Game Pass. I had to unsubscribe because of this, actually. He opened up Fall Guys accidentally. He pushed one button 3 times, and he almost made a credit card purchase of $300.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I hate live service games.
Yes, I agree.
They're
That is
terrible.
fair.
That's like the worst nightmare. It's like, oh my god, you almost just spent like a third of our next mortgage payment. What are you doing?
Fortnite's
insane.
literally just having to give money back for that exact thing right now.
Yeah, it's a common thing. It can accidentally happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, live service,
Especially
is
if there's
terrible.
no, like, child locks or anything like that to stop the kid from doing it.
Yeah,
And, I
exactly.
mean, they don't know what they're doing.
Well, they're hard to enable too. They take time. I don't have time.
No. You
Like,
don't
I
think
hope
he's going to go into
Elden
Fall
Ring
Guys and buy skins or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. I really hope that like Night Rain doesn't fall down at least like the microtransactions route or anything.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
Seems
I'd be
like
pretty
they're kind of
surprised,
going
but
Down that route.
I don't know. Both Night Rain and
Alright.
Dust Bloods are kind of a surprise anyway, so who knows?
Yeah, for sure. We've digressed enough.
Yeah.
But Taylor's right.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of horrible games and horrible decisions, let's talk about your 10 favorite Souls-like, because I know John's gonna put Dark Souls 2 on here.
Listen, Taylor.
I want to clarify for the audience. I have nothing but love and respect for John. I don't have to agree with his takes to have that respect for him. I think he's a great decision maker in majority of things, just not always when it comes to other things.
Hey, last time we played, you like turned around on it a bit.
I know, I absolutely did.
Okay.
For spoilers, I also have Dark Souls 2 on my list.
I mean, to be fair, like even I was scrambling to get 10, so I'm not surprised you got Dark Souls 2
Yeah.
on here.
Oh goodness, I had not
All right.
10 Souls likes just for.
Yeah, I did not think you would.
That's okay.
I have not.
So don't. If it's already one we've played or covered on the channel, don't worry about the short description. We can kind of figure it out as we go along. Tell you what. Oh, John, why don't you give your 10 in no particular order?
Oh, I've ordered them.
Okay. I did mine in no particular order, but yeah, go for it. Order away, sir.
Okay, well, my top one, which I'm sure will be on probably everybody's, is Elden Ring for me.
Okay, no surprise there.
Yeah. I assume that's on your guys' list as well.
Yeah.
It is on my list, yes.
Yeah. Should I just like keep going through them? Do we need to like
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
each of them?
No, Elden Ring's been on the channel, all of the numbered Dark Souls have been on the channel, like most of the things we're going to talk about have been on the channel.
Okay, well my top 4 are Elden Ring, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, I got all those too.
Then after those, I did Lies of P,
Okay,
which is
I also have Lies of P.
like Pinocchio Dark Souls
Yeah.
with a
it's
focus on
kinda like-
parrying.
almost steampunk, like 1800s-esque Pinocchio Dark Souls. And yeah, really interesting bosses.
Yeah,
Really
it
Dark Souls.
yeah, it's basically the best non-FromSoft Souls-like. I think most people would
I'd agree
agree.
with that. Have you played the DLC yet?
No, it's too expensive to
Okay, because
jump
I was
into
going to
it.
ask, in relation to this, because this is important, how do you feel about the added, like, options of different difficulties in a Souls-like?
I think it's great. Why not?
Okay,
That's a
I 100% agree.
interesting.
Because, yeah, the DLC adds both an easier mode and a harder mode for the base game, as far as I understand
I
it.
think it was
don't
an
know about-
update.
Oh, was it an update? Okay, I thought it was
I
with
think
the
so.
DLC.
It came out at the same time, but I think it was just an update.
Okay.
I'm not sure about an easier mode, but a harder mode sounds like a New Game Plus or something like that. So that totally. I think that track.
Fair.
Yeah,
I know some people were up in arms about an easy mode.
yeah. I mean,
That's
the
big
usual
one with the
crowd
Souls
is.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone can play how they want to play.
Exactly. Like,
Fair.
if it's a single player game, no online elements, who cares? I think it's great that
Yes.
they added an easy mode.
Screw the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I think, like,
Okay.
some Lies of P, some of those bosses are so hard. Like, when I do go back to
Oh,
it for
yeah.
all achievements, I will probably just play on the easier difficulty, because I don't have, like, hours and hours to dedicate to one game. I'd like to play
Yeah.
other stuff. So yeah, I'm all in favor of difficulties being added to Souls-likes.
Okay. That's fair. No, I appreciate that because yeah, a lot of people, like I said, are very much against it. But I fully agree that play the way you want. Like I played Lies of P on Game Pass, debating getting it on Steam, especially now that it has an easier option because one of those bosses, I'm not going to spoil which, drove me up the wall.
God, that could be like 5 of them, honestly. I don't even know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Some of them are so hard. But yeah, tremendous
Okay.
game. You just have to be good at parrying.
All right. What about your number 6 then? Because that was your number 5.
That was 5, yeah. 6, I put Demon Souls.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised you put.
Right? Like,
I'm kind of surprised you put Lies of P above Demon Souls.
I love Demon Souls, but Lies of P is just so good and feels so good to play. Whereas Demon Souls, like, can feel a little bit clunky still. It's quite simplistic compared to the other games, and, like, kind of even more vague than Dark Souls 1. Still a great game, but I think, like, if I was, like, given the choice of the two of them, I think I would probably choose Lies of P.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Now, when you say Demon Souls, do you mean the remake or the original?
I don't know. Just Demon Souls in general, I guess.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like,
Chris, have you played either Lies of P or the Demon Souls?
No, I've wanted to play Demon Souls. I've never really been a PlayStation person though, and I think it's pretty much the only platform it's on. Lies of P, I've never heard of that before tonight.
oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so good, but yeah, you have to be good at parrying.
Oh man, I mean, to be fair, on my list, I think I only have 8, and arguably, I think you guys are going to fight me on one of them. So,
Oh. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Demon Souls.
Anyway, John, you were... Yeah, go ahead.
Demon Souls, like, it's decently easy to emulate nowadays. Like, Taylor and I did a full playthrough on PC.
yeah,
I just don't know if your computer will quite do it, but maybe one day we can do the PS3 version on PC.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I really hope we can.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And Bloodborne one day? That'd be pretty sick.
Oh my god, yeah.
I
I've
wish.
played Bloodborne, but I've not had a chance to. Again, because I don't really have a PlayStation of any kind.
Yeah.
I've not really had a chance to like play the whole thing.
I did, and it was a struggle. So yeah, I'd like to play it on PC.
That's fair. Okay. And what about your number 7 then, John?
Number
Now I'm
7
very curious.
had Death's Door.
Okay, the Burb Souls.
The Burb Souls. It's like a isometric Dark Souls where you play as a bird, a little Zelda-y kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tunic is Dark Souls and Zelda, but way more Zelda, and then Death's Door is Dark Souls and Zelda, but way more Dark Souls.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got all achievements in that one. It was great, super fun. Not
We never
too
did
long.
an episode on that, did we?
I don't think so. I think I did it before the podcast was around, and like it was too
How
far back for it to
dare
be
you.
a good episode, I think.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, love that game. So good.
Okay, yeah, the one looks cute. I've never actually played it, but I've seen it played.
I think you'd probably like it.
That's fair. Okay, so that's your number 7. Cause yeah, like I knew your first like 5 or so.
Yeah.
I knew what they would be. So now we're in the uncharted territory.
Okay, well, number 8,
So-
you should probably have guessed, or would have been able to guess, is Code Vein.
Yep.
Animes,
also on my list.
Dark Souls.
Is that the robot one?
No, that's AI Limit, made by the same people, not the same people, but a similar vein. This one is like,
Vein?
isn't it same people?
Are there robots in it?
No, this one's vampires, like anime vampires.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Dark Souls,
So you
but
do
anime
like
vampires.
blood-sucking attacks.
Huh. Oh, I've
It's
seen
very-
that on a YouTube show before.
Was it on
Well,
Noiseberry
John and I
Games?
did a whole series.
Well, yeah, but, I don't really have time to watch entire series. I just watch, compilation video.
Yeah, that's fair.
And according to one comment I will never let go of, we've ruined Dark Souls and now Code Vein for some guy.
Oh,
I don't know how.
I love that comment so much. Yeah, Code Vein, just a tremendous time. So had to be on this list for me. Even though I didn't get all achievements, because the achievements are bullshit.
That's fair. Having gotten them all, that is fair.
It's a fair classification.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
9 and 10 are a little iffy, but like I said, it was kind of
Oh,
a struggle to come up with 10.
Okay.
9 was the 2023 version of Lords of the Fallen.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It was good. It wasn't spectacular, but I had decent fun with it, and I've been meaning to replay it on PC. It's got loads of updates to make it even better. Just haven't got around to it, but it was very enjoyable when I played it.
I tried to play it on Game Pass. That was the one that said I need no, I didn't. I was gonna play that, but then when I tried Avowed, I decided I needed to update my BIOS and I uninstalled a bunch of stuff because I wasn't sure what was going on. Since then, have gotten that issue fixed
Amazing.
around the fan and stuff. So maybe I can play it now. We'll find out.
Play it. It's pretty good.
I've never tried it yet.
And then 10, I had Ashen.
Okay, you played Ashen years ago.
And replayed it a couple of years ago, actually.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, Ashen is minimalist Dark Souls with an optional AI companion. Is his defining features, I guess. But yeah, like I said, 9 and 10 were a little bit of a struggle to get, but I liked both of those games, so I thought they would go on here.
Fair, okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
5
That's
FromSoft,
interesting.
5 Souls-likes.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Okay. Chris, what about... So, without repeating any on John's list, Chris, what do you have on yours that we haven't discussed yet?
Oh my goodness. Would you guys consider the Remnant games to be Souls-likes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
both of those are definitely on my list. I really like them.
Okay. Those are pretty good, absolutely. I have Remnant 1 on my list.
Why do I not have
Nice.
Remnant 2 on my list?
Remnant 2, yeah.
But-
Remnant
I don't
1
know.
2. Some of the best ones I played. The robot one I was talking about was the Surge.
Oh, the
Okay,
Surge,
yep, I
yeah.
own the Surge. I haven't played it, though.
That's a Souls-like for sure. It plays pretty much exactly
Absolutely,
like...
yep.
Yeah, exactly like... Obviously, everything FromSoft has made, save for, I want to be clear, Sekiro.
Okay.
There's no
Armored
place on
Core.
my list.
That's a little
ever.
bit different.
Armored Core, I used to play those games on my PSP growing up. I loved them. They were fantastic. But the one that I have that's really controversial that I think is a Souls-like, but might have a little bit of fight, is Cuphead. It feels like it to me. It's a boss battle. You got to get everything right. It's timing based. It might be a different perspective. I think the core gameplay loop is just like a Souls game.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to disagree on the grounds that, in my opinion, a Souls-like, and I know this is related to a later question, but in my opinion, a Souls-like needs to have a stamina management system. It's because it has a dodge, which is fine. It doesn't need to be a dodge roll. A dodge is fine. Sorry, I just dropped my slinky. But it doesn't have a form of stamina management, which I do feel is personally at the core of a Souls-like.
That's fair. I think I consider the stamina management system in Cuphead to be the cooldowns. So you can only dodge every so
Okay.
often.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
To me it is. To me it is one.
let me sit
But
with
I
that. Let
told
me
you
sit
it
with
would be, yeah, if I told you it would be controversial, so you guys can
Yeah.
accept it or not, but I definitely think Cuphead is something close to a Souls-like.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, interesting.
Other
It's
than
got
that,
elements
that's-
for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have
Yeah.
different from John.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see,
just
what do
one
I
of my
have?
favorite ones that has the same kind of gameplay loop. That's what I enjoy about Souls games.
Big tricky boss fights.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
one of
exactly.
Your big things, yeah.
Big, tricky boss fights. You gotta dodge. You gotta make sure that you're timing things right. That type.
Yes. Like precision, yeah.
Yeah. And then you're gonna
So-
die if you don't.
Yes, if you don't learn like the patterns and stuff, yeah, you know.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Oh,
so...
Sorry, there is one more. I totally
go ahead,
forgot
go
about this
ahead.
one. This is definitely more of a Souls-like, even though it controls the same as Cuphead. Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, no, I would consider Hollow Knight. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Hollow Knight's awesome. Hollow Knight's
didn't-
amazing.
Didn't know you played
Hollow
it.
Knight,
Knight
is
is
incredible.
Wow.
I have a friend who has all except for one achievement in Hollow Knight, and I've been nagging him for over a year now to get that last achievement so I can cover it on the podcast.
It's a difficult game.
It is.
He's just waiting for Silk Song to come out and get them all in one go.
Man, everyone's waiting for Silk Song.
God, I can't wait. Oh, I haven't even been able to go back to the original yet, but I'm still looking forward to the other one.
I don't think it's real, but
It may be one day, who knows?
we'll
They
see.
claim it's real, don't they?
Yeah, they've been claiming that for, what, 7-8 years now?
Yeah,
Oh,
like a
that's
long
nothing
time.
compared to Elder Scrolls. And that's
That's
apparently
true.
real, so...
Yeah,
That's not
been
a Souls like.
14
I'll give you
years.
guys that. Yeah, that has been 14.
But it could
14
be with
long
mods.
years.
Yeah. So
That's my
I
list, though.
I actually only have one that has not been mentioned at all yet on my list.
Is it Bloodborne?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
So when I say mention all, I mean no one has mentioned it, good or bad.
Oh, okay. None of us had Bloodborne.
So I technically have two that we haven't fully discussed,
okay.
but you've mentioned one of them in passing. Technically, Chris has. So the one that has not been mentioned at all is Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Okay.
So this was made by Team Ninja, the same people who did Ninja Gaiden and the Neo franchise. Because it's basically Neo, except set in the Three Kingdoms period of China, where you get to team up with some of the mythical figures from that from the book series, from the mythology. And the idea is you befriend and get companionship with these characters, not in a dating sim type of way, but almost as summons. And the more missions you go on with certain characters, the more affinity you get from them, to the point you get their weapons, their costume, and look like them. And for those of you who know me, love Chinese mythology. I love the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Specifically, I love Guan Yu. Guan Yu is fantastic. He's this righteous mythical figure who uses a glaive, and I love glaives as a weapon concept. So when I got to have his glaive and his armor, and it was the armor of the magnificent beard, it was incredible. And it plays very much like Neo, you know, same type of combat, same magic system. John, you've played a little bit of Wolong. You know what I'm talking about.
I have never played Wolong.
Hang on. Hang on now. Hang on now. I swear to God you made a video on this.
On Wolong? No.
Yes.
No. I played a little bit of both of the Neos, but I didn't really like them very much, so I didn't really have any interest in it.
Why do I have this memory of you trying Wolong for some reason?
Oh, I played a little bit for footage for one of your lists.
Yes! Okay, it was one of my games of the year.
Yeah,
yes,
I literally played like 20 minutes or something, and it didn't stick with me.
Okay, yeah, because I remember you make like a blonde boy. Okay. And yeah, like it's got a similar mission structure where you go on segmented missions, and then you capture flags to make yourself stronger in each level. It's just, I don't know, it's so much fun. They've got really creative boss fights in some areas. And it's a great experience because I've wanted to try Neo. I know Neo 3 has just been announced.
Has it?
They've also announced Code Vein 2.
Yes.
So hyped for both of those.
Hell yeah, Code Vein 2.
But yeah, like I love this experience. I got all achievements in it before the DLC came out. And it was a really fun time getting to see the interactions with these technically mythical beings, because, you know, they're not actually real, but that's fine. Just like, again, having Guang Yu's armor, weapon, and just like experiencing that friendship, that camaraderie was great. Now, the one that was on my list that was mentioned only once, but was, you know, kind of dunked on, was my I don't hate to say that, I fully stand by this. My favorite FromSoft game, probably, okay, maybe second favorite FromSoft game of all time, which is going to be Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
That's disgusting.
But is it a Souls-like?
You are a disgusting person.
I think it is, given it does technically have stamina management. It's got a dodge system. It's focused on bosses. I think it is a departure from a traditional Souls-like.
Yeah.
But I do think it still falls within the category.
Yeah, probably.
I say this
that might be
because
the grossest answer you could have possibly given, to say that you like Sekiro. Are you kidding me? I refunded that after 45 minutes.
Listen, man, I've done a podcast episode on it, so I don't want to go too much in depth and like rehash
second
it.
Favorite?
Elden Ring is my first because I get to experience it with you guys.
Oh my god, you like Sekiro more than all of the Dark Souls games?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Vati says that as well.
What?
Like,
I feel like Sekiro is one of the most divisive FromSoft games in existence.
when it clicks for you,
terrible.
there's like nothing like it apparently.
Absolutely true.
Nothing clicked with that game with me.
It didn't for me either,
Listen, man,
but I wanted to retry it.
I tried it once, I waited 6 months, I tried it again, and it clicked. I don't know what it was, I don't know what changed, but it clicked, and it was magnificent. I have never had such high highs in a FromSoft game, and especially too, again, knowing that I did that myself, knowing that I was the one playing, I was doing solo, and I was the one achieving this, it was indescribable.
My goodness, that's so surprising. I'm glad you liked it.
It is one of the only Souls-like I enjoy playing, like, by myself. Obviously, you don't have to play by yourself.
Wow,
True.
okay.
Yeah,
It was, I can't, it's hard to define why I enjoyed it so much.
it's just, I think it's when it clicks. You know, when it clicks and like you're getting like all the parry timing right. Like I'm sure it feels amazing.
Yeah,
But I totally get it when it doesn't. You're like, this feels awful. Why would they make this garbage? This shouldn't exist.
Yeah, but that was like 7 years ago now. So
7?
time to give it another try. I think it was like 2018.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it has been a long time.
It's even more surprising that 7 years ago was 2018, to be honest. But
Yeah, understandable.
I was not expecting our list to be as diverse as it was.
No, me neither.
Because I was expecting more of like just the same thing for all of us. And yeah, we did have a lot of the same, but that was interesting.
We've played a lot of different games though.
we definitely have like types of games we all like. Like clearly I gravitate more towards like the 2D type of Souls-like outside of like FromSoft games, and Taylor, you're more into like the anime ones.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and I go for the ones that are like closest to Dark Souls, like Lies of P,
Yeah,
Code Vein, Lords of the Fallen.
Dark Souls 2.
I also
Yeah.
wait, Chris. I gotta know, when you play a new Souls, like, do you change the controls to be like Dark Souls, or do you just play with the controls that it tells you it has?
In every single game I play with the exact controls that they tell me to use, except for World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
So,
change
John, I
World
think
of
you're the
Warcraft.
outlier on this one.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I've never changed a single Souls like controls before.
Oh my god, that's the first thing I
That's
do.
so interesting.
Like a
just learned
tank's
okay.
not on my
So-
bumper, I quit.
Okay, so Chris, I'm curious because you had, I would argue, the most maybe not controversial take. I feel like that was my second row one, but like in terms of what you would define or consider a Souls-like,
Yeah.
with Cuphead. So
Yeah.
how would you define a Souls-like in 2025?
I think Souls-likes are defined by difficult, methodical boss fights that require thought. I think they're required by defined by resource management and things like that. And I think they're defined by the game design principle that you have to try this over and over again until you learn what to do. That's, in my opinion, what a Souls-like is kind of defined by. I do know that's not quite the same, but that's what I enjoy out of them, at least.
So Final Fantasy is a Souls-like.
No, Final Fantasy's just garbage.
It fits all the criteria.
Okay, also real time. How about that?
Okay, that there might be a real-time Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Stranger of Paradise is Final Fantasy
Yeah,
Dark
so-
Souls.
I wouldn't.
But I think that
consider
is like
Final
kind of a
Fantasy-
Souls-like.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But basically, it's based off of difficulty. You can't really you can cheese some bosses in Dark Souls, but the idea is that you can't. Like, you go into the boss arena, you have to face the boss, and there's really no way out of it.
Okay, interesting.
So do you
That's
think
kind of just what's most interesting about that to me.
do you think Lies of P is made less of a Souls-like by adding difficulty then?
No, absolutely not. No, I think it's the mechanics of it. I don't think it's the difficulty of it. Difficulty
Okay.
is it's relative to the person who's fighting the boss.
Yeah. Interesting.
But,
So yeah, it is
I
mostly the
thi-
boss fights for you.
For me, it is. It's mostly the boss fights. I think intended difficulty is, I would say, what I would describe it as well as, different mechanics, interesting mechanics, just a variety of things in different games. I don't know. It's hard to describe beyond the core mechanics that I said originally.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
It's hard to define.
Definitely.
that is fair.
It's a feeling when you get.
And John,
when
how would
play it.
you define it?
So I said it's anything that takes at least one element from Soft's Souls series. Typically some combination of rolling, stamina management, difficulty, boss fights, and build variety.
So if my game has rolling, it's still a Souls-like, because it took one element.
At least one element.
Okay.
Yeah, like I like typically contains a combination of all of them. But I mean, like, you watch Iron Pineapple too. Like, he stretches
Yeah.
the definition of Souls-like in his videos, and like,
Yeah.
I kind of lean more towards that because I think it's more interesting than being like, oh, a Souls-like is the 4 Souls games and Bloodborne and that's it.
Yeah. There's something to be said about purism, especially with the community that agrees that there shouldn't be difficulty scaling.
Yeah. So
I think my definition also falls in with Pineap's definition. Just like very, stamina based, rolling or dodging of some variety, typically focused primarily on boss fights. Combat can be versatile, like it doesn't have to be melee combat, it can be ranged combat. I'm okay with that. But it's just, it's hard to define what a Souls-like is nowadays, given that there are dozens, and I mean dozens of games on Steam that will say, oh, it's a Souls-like. And maybe it is, but
There's a whole
the
tag
definition is becoming... Yeah, exactly. The definition is becoming so diluted with different games that have different mechanics that people are arguing, no, it's a Souls-like because this or this. Like, it's hard to really define what that means anymore.
Yeah, on that topic, I looked up the Souls-like tag on Steam, and the top one right now is Clair Obscure, because it has parrying.
And I would disagree. That's not a Souls-like. That's a turn-based action RPG where, yes, you can dodge, but there's no stamina management focus in it.
Yeah, I'd
That's
agree. I don't think
interesting,
that's a
actually.
Souls-like at all.
That stamina management you've mentioned multiple times is your focus, it seems, for what makes it a Souls-like.
Yeah.
It's,
primarily.
Yeah, it's one of the top ones for me, for sure, and I think Taylor too.
I think for me it's more resource management. I think it's more general than just like how you can move and stuff like that. I think like where the disconnect comes, where like I like Cuphead, and I think it's like a Souls-like, is I think stamina management is also like, oh, I have 5 dodges.
Yes. Yeah, I like the... I think I probably prefer the definition of, or the term, resource management than stamina management.
Okay.
As long as you're not
Interesting.
saying, like my resources or my potions in my inventory or whatever.
No, goodness, no. That's like RPG levels. Like, yeah, Souls-likes
Yeah.
can have those things, but they don't define a Souls-like, I think. I think that defines an RPG is if you have items and stuff like that you can use.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Another more controversial game defined as a Souls-like is Monster Hunter World. You guys have played it. Would you consider that a Souls-like?
No.
No. It's obviously got
Okay,
Souls-like
why?
elements.
It's very similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I think it's more of a JRPG than a Souls-like, which there's a lot of crossover between those two. But I think it's a lot more based off of like the grinding and building your character up rather than overcoming obstacles. Which, for me at
Okay.
least, I'm not a grinder in Souls-likes. I just throw myself at bosses over and over. Or so
you
it's
get it.
just it doesn't have the same type of gameplay loop to me.
okay, no, that's fair. And that's what I mean by the definition has become muddled in recent years as to
Agreed.
what qualifies as a Souls-like and what doesn't.
Oh, we even
Yeah, I
all have
think-
different
And
definitions.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and
if
it's
you
become kind of frustrating at times.
if you search Souls-like on Steam, it comes up with almost 2,200 games. So
2,192. Yep.
there's been
I've played
5 more
8.
since you checked that.
Oh my god.
2,197 right now.
Amazing. Yeah, there's not that
Okay,
many
so-
Souls-like games out there, for sure. I can say that
No.
confidently that there's not that many out there.
No.
No.
There's loads with Souls-like
Okay.
elements, but yeah.
Yeah, but everybody tags their stuff as many times as they possibly can. of
It's
course.
true. Yeah, we probably can't go off Steam's tags.
The same as Instagram.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, John, would you argue, or do you believe, I suppose I should ask it this way, do you believe that the Souls-like market is oversaturated?
I don't think so. Like
Okay.
I'm obviously a big Souls-like fan, and my Steam library only has 53 that I've tagged as Souls-likes out of 5,507 games.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's like 1% of my library is Souls-likes. I feel like that means it's not really oversaturated.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Interesting. How about you, Chris? Do you feel like yours is...
No, actually, I think from my point of view, there's
Jedi
not
are evil.
many. Oh my God, there's another Souls-like that I really like that I didn't even mention: the Jedi games.
The Star Wars one, yeah.
Oh, the Star Wars...
Yeah, those are
Jedi Survivor
Yeah,
and Fallen
those
Order.
are fantastic Souls-likes.
Yeah, they're good.
I got all achievements in Fallen Order, but not Survivor yet.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't even talk about those, but that's beside the point. I don't think it's a saturated genre, and I think that every time a big AAA Souls-like comes out, everybody's really excited about it. So I think that's kind of a big hallmark that, like, we want more.
Okay.
So always the biggest times
see,
in
I'm-
E3, for example.
I disagree with both of you guys. Now, I have 784 games, 78 of which are tagged as Souls-like, so about 10% of my library.
Wow.
And I think, personally, that even disregarding the Souls-like tag in the Steam store, an actual Souls-like one that we could all look at that and go, yeah, that's a Souls-like, I feel like there are too many of them that are made just for the sake of making a Souls-like. Not because they found some inspirational thing, or they had a story they wanted to tell, or there was a really cool setting they wanted to explore. There are so many Souls-likes that are made to capitalize on the market, like not just the tag, but like actual Souls-like, that I think it is hurting the genre overall and making people think, is this what Souls-like is? Is this what it's going to become?
Interesting.
And I really hate that. Because I mean, I don't want to like crap on any developers who genuinely have a passion for this and they just put out a game that maybe I don't like. I think I'm not talking about the ones that are genuinely passionate, but I think there are so many that are put out not understanding what a Souls-like it should feel like or how to make it feel good, and that so many people are trying to kind of cram in Souls-like mechanics into their games with the belief, and this is maybe more on the publisher side, that it will make the game more, universally appealing or will increase the audience size.
I kind of like it being oversaturated.
Really?
Because, like you said, like we all gravitate towards different Souls-likes, and like maybe one that like we all hate. What is it? Hell Point, I think.
Oh god, I could not. Oh, I spent too much time with Hellpoint.
Right, Hellpoint is like kind of considered a pretty bad one, but my friend Scott at work, that is his favorite Souls-like.
Really?
Huh.
Yes.
Well,
I feel like
go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, I feel like having like a very saturated market just lets people find the Souls-like, the games that click for them.
Yeah,
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think Souls-like genre, it started out as like a dark fantasy thing, and it's continued on with that, of course. But it's become more of like a gameplay mechanic rather than like a genre almost at this point. It's like, this is just like Fortnite is like a fast-paced building shooter. That's now the subject of 10 games.
Yeah.
And tactical shooters are one of the most popular genres in the world, but there's 10 of those as well. Same with League of Legends and MOBAs and stuff like that. I think Souls-like has actually just become kind of another gameplay mechanic rather than like I'm emulating FromSoft in some ways. It's like, if you like this style of gameplay, you look for Souls-likes.
Yeah, and
I get that.
Like you said, you can look for like a 2D game, which is obviously very, very different from the actual FromSoft games, but like if it's got the elements, like that might make it click more for you, like Hollow Knight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's
fair.
interesting.
And I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, so to speak. Like, I don't want to say, oh, your game is bad.
Yeah,
It's...
I think,
And I don't want to gatekeep either. I understand how that can come across. I'm not trying to do that. I think for me, it's just, I don't like seeing... I don't like seeing forced mechanics, I guess, is more my thing. Like,
You don't want
I
to
think
see...
you're right, Chris. I think it is becoming... Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, you don't want to see trend chasing, like making a
No,
Souls-like.
and yeah, that's a
sure.
big... Yeah, and I think it's me... I think you put it best, Chris. That is becoming more of a mechanic than a genre, and I'm having a hard time, and maybe this is just old man yells at cloud. I'm having a hard time reconciling with that fact, and I think I'm seeing more games that use it as a mechanic than a genre, and I need to separate myself from saying, okay, and I'm not saying they're bad. Some of them are bad, some of them are not.
Some of them are bad.
Some of them are bad. But, like, I need to recognize that this was not meant for me. I'm not the target audience, and I need to be okay with that. Whether I like it or not is separate. That you're allowed to not like something, but you need to be okay with something that's not meant for you, even if it has elements of something you do enjoy.
Yeah, because...
And that's more me just, like, coming to that realization.
Yeah, because it could be somebody's favorite of the whole genre, and it might not appeal to you at all.
Absolutely.
I think to your credit, Taylor, it actually like makes sense that that's kind of a hard thing to do because it was a genre of games for us. It was like a very,
Yes.
it was a very specific set of games.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it just. But nowadays, it's like, I like how that game plays. I want other games to play that way, and
Yeah.
So, okay, this one I'm curious about, because I feel like, Chris, you're gonna have maybe the least experience, no offense, and John's gonna have the most experience, him being a YouTuber and all. Chris, in your mind, what separates a good Souls-like from a bad or generic one?
In my mind, it has 100% to do with how smooth the gameplay is. It can be very varied, but Souls-likes in my mind are gameplay-oriented, so it really depends on just how it feels and how it plays, in my opinion. And in terms of any recent examples or anything like that, Elden Ring, of course. Every single person knows that that's an amazing example. I haven't played too many video games in the past few years, but in the past probably 10 years, I think another one that is amazing positively is Hollow Knight. I think that has that amazing gameplay loop that's really addictive about Souls games. And I think a really, really bad one was probably Sekiro. Which just...
Okay.
But Sekiro's got that smoothness.
I hate it. No, the smooth gameplay loop is not the smooth gameplay loop I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
Terrible one. What about you, John?
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Now, I want to say, I'm not going to disagree with Chris. He's allowed to have his opinions. I do want to say, though, Sekiro has a very smooth gameplay loop, in my opinion.
Well, that's okay for you to have that opinion, even though it's wrong.
I want you to try it again someday.
Yeah, put me on your Steam family account.
All right, John, it's your turn, good sir.
Yeah, I pretty much agree completely with Chris. Like I said, like what separates a good Souls-like from a bad one is like the fluidity and how smooth and good it actually feels to play it. Like one of the main positive points for Liza P is it feels like Dark Souls. It feels super smooth and responsive. And if you look at any of the ones with negative reviews, like a couple that come to mind were Thymesia and Enotria, most of the negative reviews are it feels kind of clunky and bad to play and the controls just feel off. So yeah, for me it just comes down to how good and smooth it feels to play.
Okay. See, I very much agree, and it's funny you brought up Thymesia because I actually said Liza P to me felt like an amazing Souls-like. Like the controls felt fantastic. Just everything about it felt really good. The mechanics, the weapons, the combat just felt great. And I played through all of Thymesia. Like I was right there, and it didn't feel terrible, but it didn't feel good.
Right.
Like I don't want to call it a bad game by any means, but it was so generic. And I think what gets me about Thymesia and like about certain Souls like more than maybe other players is the story or lack thereof. Like Thymesia to me locked, because I tried to go for all achievements on it. Like it was rough. And the story is locked behind like 81 or something collectibles. Like it doesn't want you to experience its story. And I think that's what gets me, is you don't just get to pick up an item and discover, okay, this is what the story of Thymesia is like. It's find all of these collectibles, do all of this stuff, and then you can know what our story is like. And that just felt not lazy per se, but it didn't feel like the game wanted me to engage with it, and it didn't feel good. It felt very generic in the sense they weren't willing to have a story play out in front of me that I could experience.
Like maybe they weren't like that confident in their stories. They had to like hide it behind mechanics.
And yeah, they didn't want to, like, because it was all pieces of paper you had to discover in the world, which is great for world building, but you weren't giving me anything on the surface to actually engage with.
Right.
Whereas Sekiro, Lies of P, all the Dark Souls games, yes, it's obscure, but you still understand what you're doing and why.
Yeah, mostly.
And many of the other Souls-likes that you guys have mentioned, again, you have a relative understanding of what you're doing and a relative understanding of why.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't speak for Thymesia or Enotria. Like, I haven't played either of them, but I just know, like, they have, you know, reviews that say they're kind of cool, but they feel clunky and horrible to play.
I have not played Enotria.
No, it's too expensive for
So I
what's,
can't
like,
speak
kind
to-
of a mid-game, apparently.
Yeah, I can't speak to that one, but I can speak, again, to Thymesia, and it's just not that good.
No.
Like, again, having played through the whole game, trying to get all achievements, it's just not the experience that I would consider a decent quality game.
That's crazy you were trying to go for all achievements in that one.
Yeah, and I got close. Believe me, I did.
I'm surprised.
Okay, let's see. John, I'm curious about you with this one. With so many Souls-like releasing... Wow, Souls-likes releasing. Do you think developers are innovating enough, or are they just too many copying the Dark Souls formula?
I think so. I think as long as you can say it's Dark Souls but blank, then there's at least been some innovation, and sometimes that's all it needs. Like Liza P it's Dark Souls but it feels amazing and it's parry focused. You know, that's kind of enough.
Okay.
So yeah, I think so. But again, like I seem to have a bit of a more broad definition of Souls-likes.
And Chris, how about you? Having played a handful of Souls-likes, you know, the outside of the traditional games.
Yeah. Yeah,
What is your take on things?
I think a lot of developers have really adopted the core gameplay loop like we've been talking about and innovated on it. And we've brought up a lot of good examples actually tonight in that on this podcast. But there are definitely a ton of them that have not. They've literally just reskinned Dark Souls. I completely agree with that point of things. Like the one I was talking about before, the Surge, feels like a reskinned Dark Souls with just like worse mechanics.
Yeah.
It's there's like no real passion behind it. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's 50-50. I haven't played enough Souls-like games to make a judgment on that really. But the innovation is lacking in a lot of them that look like Dark Souls. But in any Souls-likes that don't look like Dark Souls, it seems like the innovation is abundant.
Like Cuphead.
Yeah, that's my controversial Cuphead take. Yeah, they are the most innovative people.
No, that's fair. I think... I think for me, it's... Like you said earlier, Chris, about it becoming a mechanic, it's harder for me to wrap my head around that, and...
That's fair. It's new.
I think there are games that, again, they take, you know, a Souls-like mechanic, and they're like, okay, this is what we are going to do. Like, we're going to make a Souls-like.
Yeah.
And I think many of them fall short in that regard. Maybe they're not trying to fall short, I'm sure. But that is just what has happened.
Yeah, I absolutely agree
Like
with that. That's kind of like what I've been, I think, trying to get at here.
You know what? I forgot about this. I for this one, I also said, you know, many are innovating more in terms of characters and setting than on the core mechanics. But even, say, Night Rain shows how those mechanics themselves are almost becoming secondary. And just like, you know, like Chris said, I'm gonna keep mentioning it, it is more of a mechanic than a genre at this point. Given Night Rain, I would still technically classify as a Souls-like for the most part.
Yeah, even though it is still lacking, like, quite a few key elements.
Quite a few
But
traditional elements, yeah.
Yes, it would still be silly to say it's not a Souls-like, but yeah, like if even FromSoft are like deviating from, I don't know, the ingredients, I guess that says something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like simplifying it, just like over time PUBG got simplified into something like Fortnite, or even beyond that, DayZ got simplified into Fortnite essentially. Like that was a long journey. I remember that one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it just gets like boiled down to like the essentials, I guess.
The most fun things that people like about them, and I think that this is FromSoft's attempt, is Night Rain.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
they made
so.
a great game, but they also want to have a live service game because that's for how you make money.
Yes. Yeah, and apparently it's done very well.
Yeah, I've heard.
Okay. So, okay, I'm curious about this one then. Does your preferred playstyle change depending on the game you're playing? So, like, John, for you, for instance, does it change for you?
100%. Like, I'm sure you guys know when we play Souls together, I like my magic, but there's a lot of games where it just doesn't work. Like, not really a one-to-one, but Lunacid, which was inspired by Kingsfield, which is pre-Dark Souls FromSoft games. Because I like magic, I'd started off in that game with magic, and it was awful, and I had to like completely restart and go for melee. So yeah, like my preferred playstyle is stand in the back and shoot things while my friends are in the front tanking and doing the big deeps, while I can stay in the back and be a glass cannon.
Nice.
Okay.
But that obviously doesn't
Okay.
work in every game.
Yeah. So you change if you have to.
Yes.
Have you ever had the desire to change up the game, like the way you play, even if you didn't have to? Like if you didn't have to be in the back? Or you just like, no, this is more comfort for me, this is what I want?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've done melee builds with you guys, I'm sure. And, like, I think when we did all achievements, I don't think I was, like, a caster, or, like, primarily a caster in any of them.
No, I don't think so.
You know,
I
I
think we were
don't
just-
think I've actually ever played with you that when you were not a caster.
We've done so many series, there must be some.
I'm not sure if I have in terms of like Souls-likes.
Dark Souls 2, I definitely did a rapier build, because I wanted to do the super strong build.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I did a caster build in one of them.
Yeah. And I'm sure Dark Souls 3 I did the twin blades one time, because they were meant to be really good.
Okay, yeah, you definitely did that. I remember that. Okay, I was.
But you're right, I am primarily a caster, because that is, yeah, my preferred playstyle. Just doesn't work in every game.
No,
Fair.
that is very fair. Okay. Okay, and how about you, Chris? Do you find your playstyle changes between games, or you just kind of stick with the same?
Oh my goodness, no. I play the exact same build basically in every single game we play. I am in the front, I do a ton of damage and as much damage as I possibly can, and I prefer dodge rolling over blocking. That is a constant for me in every single Souls-like, no matter which one I'm playing, because you can always do that in every Souls game.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah, it's-
Remnant's the best example of that. Like, that one's like almost designed to
Yeah.
be ranged, and you're still like, I'm
Yeah.
melee, I'm up close.
I still went melee and shotgun in
Yeah.
that game, and it was fantastic. I loved
Which
it. It
is
was a
very
ton of
funny.
fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That's
am
fair.
up front. I fight enemies face to face in every single game I play, and that's how I prefer it. I prefer to take on games the same way that I take on life.
Okay.
Up close and personal.
That's why I like
I'm a
Souls
little-
games. They,
I'm a
they,
little
they
different.
mimic life.
Yeah.
Because I found myself weirdly gravitating towards a healer build, almost. At times, or like a support build, but a lot of Souls games don't support that, pun intended.
You've done
Yeah,
that
it's
more than
true.
the rest of us, though. The support side of things, for I think.
Yeah, and like I've gone from, you know, being in the front, being the tank with the shield and taking aggro to like, no, I think too, I've always been more of a, I want to help out my friends, or I want to help out my party more so than I want to be doing all the damage myself, which I think is part of the reason we've all been able to work together relatively well.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
fair.
we're
I
not
mean,
all
you did.
glass cannons.
Yeah, you did start out
Yeah.
as the tank at first, Taylor, and then you realized that like I can just melee stuff, and now
Yeah.
you're like more
Yeah.
kind of support or in between or something like that. Somehow you've like found this niche that's just makes you switch up your playstyle pretty much every single round we play of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like even Remnant, I was wearing different armor, had different weapons.
Yeah,
Or skills, and it's I I don't know. I find myself gravitating towards different things depending on what we're playing and whether or not I'm playing solo. Because obviously, a solo support doesn't really work all that well.
Doesn't really.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, the standard is like tank, mage, and then either a rogue or a healer, which I feel like you kind of flop back and forth between depending on what the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like whatever's needed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, John, this next one is all yours, sir.
Okay. I think this one's just directed towards you, Taylor. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the initial plan.
Okay. Chris, you can chip in if you want to, but Taylor,
Sure.
how do you approach critically discussing a genre you're not personally into?
I find myself that I find that I used to like the genre, and that love and passion has died a lot for me. Not because the games are bad, not because I have played some bad Souls-like, absolutely, but I've also played Souls-likes that I absolutely love, and it's weird. It's the most volatilely inconsistent genre I've ever played in terms of whether I like it or don't. You know, like I love Sekiro, and I tried to love Black Myth Wukong, and I just could not get past like the second or third boss in that game.
Interesting.
And I find it harder for me, I'm sure you guys have seen that, even in my general verbiage and how I've approached these compared to you guys, I am much more critical, and I think it is harder for me to be objective when discussing these games and saying, okay, is this a fair critique or comparison of the game if I don't like the genre anymore, and if I'm not liking its use as a mechanic? And I think I'm genuinely a bad person. Not a bad person. I'm a bad sample to ask about my opinions on Souls-likes, given my dying flame for the genre as a whole. I still love them when I find the right one, but I find myself being so much more selective over what the right one is.
You're like more disillusioned
And I can't
in
just
the genre.
be... Yeah, I can't just be like, oh, cool, a new Souls-like. I'm like, is this going to be any good? Do I really want to sink time into this? And I mean, Game Pass has been great for that, because I have certainly been burned by buying a couple Souls-likes and like trying them out and just like, this is just crap. Like, this
Fair.
is like Thymesia, for example. I beat the
Yeah.
whole game and I was just like, this is not a fulfilling experience for me.
Like,
And I'm starting to question, did I enjoy the games or did I just enjoy my time with you guys?
right. And yeah, like going back to it again, you didn't play Shadow of the Erdtree by yourself because you mostly enjoyed playing it with us.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because like difficulty is typically an aspect of Souls-likes, like, or is it unrelated?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
I do-
If there was like an easy mode in Shadow of the Erdtree, or not an easy mode, just a less health for enemies and less damage for enemies mode, so you could just get the whole experience, would you be more interested in that?
I think so, because like, I mean, I've stated time and time again, I am terrible at games, and I even Clair Obscure that I'm playing right now, I'm playing on the easiest difficulty because I'm not too familiar with that genre, but I know the Souls-like genre relatively well, I would like to think, and I do find myself gravitating towards the easier ones, so to speak. You know, I mentioned Black Myth Wukong was hard as hell, and I think
Yeah.
I don't have the personality trait where I can bash my head against a wall a million times and then feel good when I finally get through it. I'm more of a, thank God it's finally over, but I don't feel that same sense of reward that I did when, say, I beat Sekiro. Like, Sekiro, for some reason, clicked with me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sekiro's a difficult game, but is not by any means the most difficult. Like, I think the Neo series, which I also want to try to get into, is significantly harder. And I find it so much harder for me to click with a Souls game these days. And part of it is the difficulty, but I think if I would click with the game, the difficulty wouldn't matter. It's just, it's not connecting in my brain, and I don't know what's causing that disconnect.
It's like, because of the difficulty, I feel like every game is an investment because you have to learn the ropes, you have to learn the mechanics, you have to learn like boss patterns and stuff. Whereas, like, I feel like most other genres, you don't really need that. Like a turn-based JRPG, if you know how to, move your cursor through menus, you kind of know how to play one.
Yeah.
Whereas Souls, like, yeah, there really is kind of a real investment and learning curve that you have to get over in pretty much every single game.
Yeah, and
And I
most
think
games
too
are different.
that's
even.
where the
Yeah.
and that's where a big story aspect comes in for me. Like if I'm not gripped by the mechanics because I've played them over and over and over again, you have to have something that gets me. If your characters and story don't get me, there's nothing for me.
Yeah, you gotta
That's
have something
understandable.
that grips you.
Yeah. If you're that type of gamer that needs like an actual story thing, then like a Souls like Remnant is like I think perfect for you. It's like there's such a prominent story compared to something like the Souls games that are traditional, like the FromSoft ones. Is really not much, and that also makes sense why you enjoyed Sekiro a lot more than me. As I understand it, there's a lot more story in that game. There's a driving factor behind it, whereas like what I like is just I want to find the next big boss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sekiro is a bit more like
Sekiro's
direct
much more
with the
story and character focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on from that one. Chris, I'm genuinely curious how you feel about this. How do you feel about multiplayer and co-op in Souls-like games?
Multiplayer and co-op and Souls-like games, I love it. I especially love the actual PvP system in it specifically. Of course, I love the times we spend together, but there's something about invasions, the concept of invasions in multiplayer Souls-like game that it's fun. Even when I'm playing solo, which I of course do a lot, I always play with the ability to have people invade me. Just because like it adds a whole nother level. Like, yeah, this random boss popped up, another player. I think it's such a cool mechanic. But even beyond that, like the times that we spend co-op, of course, the best times I've ever had in any Souls-like game. Yeah, it's irreplaceable. I don't play very many Souls-like games without co-op in them or PvP in them because it's such a fun element.
Okay. John, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, like obviously, I love the multiplayer. I think like any Souls-like would be amplified with co-op. Like if Liza P added co-op, amazing. That'd be sick.
Oh my god, a co-op Hollow Knight playthrough?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, like honestly, like any of them should have co-op, and it would be great fun. Yeah, like any game I can play with friends is great. Like even previous guest Robbie is having a great time in Elden Ring, specifically because of the Seamless mod, because we can play the whole thing together. And even though he's never played a Souls game before, he's still having a great time because of the multiplayer. And I know that's kind of the same for you, Taylor.
It's a fun mechanic.
Absolutely it is.
It's something that I would not have enjoyed Souls games as much without either of the two co-op or PvP mechanics that are in there.
PvP is interesting.
Okay.
I love PvP.
Yeah, PvP is where I start having issues.
We're opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I personally think that having co-op as an option is fantastic in the game, in Souls-likes. I personally take some... I don't want to say issue. Issue is the wrong word with PvP. This is hard for me to describe accurately. Okay, hang on. Let me gather my thoughts here. I think it's great that multiplayer and co-op are optional in the game. I think it really allows for a lot of creativity, a lot of community to build. But my problem really comes in with PvP because it's not kind of an opt-out system the way I would like it to be.
Right.
And I think having that system where you either are in and, no choice, or you're out with, again, arguably no choice, kind of sucks. Like, I don't like the way that's handled personally. I just feel like it could be done better. And I don't know how to fix it necessarily, but yeah, it's always been divisive for me, because I know some people too consider it a crutch, so it's a hard thing to accurately say, yes, it's good or yes, it's bad.
Well, like
I think it's
multiplayer
great
as
as
a
an
whole,
option.
or the invasions.
Yeah,
Okay.
and multiplayer as a whole.
Okay.
I think it's great as an option, but I do think it is. It's got its ups and downs for me personally.
Interesting.
That's kind of interesting. It's an option in most of the games. I wouldn't say every Soul-like ever, of course. Like, for example, Dark Souls 1, it is a complete option where you just, if you're human, then you can participate in co-op and invasions. However, you definitely can't separate them. I actually think that's a +1 for me, personally.
Okay.
It's like you either are...
Okay.
Yeah, you're playing either a solo game or a multiplayer game, and that's it. That's kind of interesting to me. It's a draw towards the franchise for me.
Okay. Well, I think that kind of goes into number 10 then. Chris, what do you love most about Souls-like co-op and invasion mechanics? Do you prefer cooperatively invading or a mix of both?
I love both, ideally. I think it's the most fun when you have the most amount of chaos, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody can say that Spum Cumward wasn't one of the best things that's ever happened on our channel. But, yeah, to be honest with you, if I'm playing solo, I do invade people a lot more than I than I admit to, I'll say. I invade people a lot. I generally make PvP-focused builds when I'm doing either Elden Ring or any Souls-like by myself. But when I'm with you guys, I much prefer to just destroy invaders with both of you. And focus on just, killing bosses and stuff like that. It's a lot more fun to work cooperatively. So I suppose it's kind of situational. But in terms of my own solo Souls-like experience, I love the invasion mechanic. Holy cow, it makes the entire genre for me.
Damn.
Okay.
So you do the actual invading, like you don't wait for people to come to you.
No, yeah, I invade, like, I invade, if I'm playing for an hour, I'll invade at least 3 people.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do, like, if I fail at a boss, I'll invade somebody afterwards. See if I can steal a bunch of souls. I play the game technically by the intended mechanics, but it's very different.
Okay.
That's so funny, because, like, I kind of do the same thing in Elden Ring, but, like, when I beat a boss, I go to help people do that boss.
Oh, the opposite side. That's amazing. If I can't do a boss by myself, I don't put down my sign, I steal souls from people.
Yeah,
oh
when
my
I'm
God.
when
That's
I'm playing
so
Elden
funny.
Ring online, I'm like constantly sending out my sign to help people with bosses, and I never invade in Elden Ring.
I do the opposite. I don't
That's
think I've
very
ever
funny.
put down my sign in Elden Ring besides you
Oh my
guys.
god, constantly.
That's so funny. We love
Complete
the same
opposite.
game, but
I
we
love
play
that.
it so differently.
Yeah,
That is weird.
I'm very glad we have you for your side, because I think Taylor and I are kind of like on a similar side about invasions.
You guys would probably get too pissed off about invasions without me there.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like,
Okay.
like when I'm playing like Dark Souls 3 or something, I'll like if I'm playing solo just by myself, I'll be a bit like Chris, like I'll pretty regularly ember myself so I can get invaded, because I do think that adds something unique to the game. You know, it gives you all these unique situations that you wouldn't normally have if you were just playing like the game over and over again offline. But when I'm playing with you guys, I always kind of hate it when an invader comes in, because like probably because it usually just means we're going to lose progress. Like we only have so many hours to play the game, and like if the host gets invaded, like bam, like the whole area is reset, we've got to redo that part. But if I'm just playing by myself and I get invaded and I die, it's like whatever, you know, I can get through that area pretty quickly by myself anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do quite like playing online when I'm playing by myself. But yeah, I don't like it so much when I'm playing with you guys.
Interesting.
See, I think I'm in the third camp where I prefer to play it as a single-player game, unless I'm with you guys, at which point I want a cooperative experience. So I think, for me, my biggest thing is that I want to be able to play by myself unless I'm with friends, and in none of those experiences do I want invasions to occur, to me at least, because I've always looked at invasion, like Dark Souls, as the problem is it's both a single and multiplayer game. I've always wanted and tried to play it as single player.
Right. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, so, like,
and
you, if you could turn off PvP, that would be ideal for you.
What I ideally would want is an opt-in, opt-out system. So one that allows me to say, okay, yes, I want PvP, or no, I don't want PvP.
Okay.
Which is why the seamless mods are so good, because it literally has that option.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, because I understand having it in the game. I don't think it should not be in the game, especially for, say, people like you, Chris, who enjoyed that experience.
For sure, yeah.
For me, if I'm going to play a single-player game, I want to be a single-player game with the option for co-op. I want to have that experience, and then if I want to get a PvP later, sure. Because the problem for me is a PvP build is so much different than a PvE build.
Yes.
It is, yeah.
And by the time that I've experienced a lot of the Souls-likes, it has been, say, a couple months or even a couple years. So everyone's still doing PvP. Everyone that's left doing that are just trolls. They're to piss you off.
Or, like, tryhards who are, like, specifically for PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me. Yeah, like, I completely get that point of view, and there probably should be an option to turn off PvP. And to your credit, Taylor, in what you just said, the Souls games actually definitely encourage you to turn on PvP, especially in, like, Dark Souls 2 and whatnot, where they lower your health if you don't turn on PvP every so often.
Oh, right,
I didn't even know I knew they lowered your health if you died. I didn't know they lowered your health if you turned it off.
Well, yeah, that's what it is, right? Like, if you die, then PvP gets turned off, of course. But your health lowers every single time you die, so you eventually do have to turn it on.
Yeah, to get your health back, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. I completely agree with
I don't
you
know.
on
It's
kinda,
a love-hate relationship I have with it personally.
It's kind of dumb. You should be able to have your full character stats. I love that they did that in, what was it, Dark Souls 3? Everything was fine if you didn't ember yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah, I think it was Dark Souls 3.
You could functionally turn off PvP without having any negative repercussions, but it did also turn off PvE, which sucked.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even interesting that Elden Ring, like, specifically in their balance patches, split balancing between PvP changes and PvE changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's very new for them. And
It's different.
it's a good step, I think, to separate it a bit. But yeah, I do like the seamless system where it is, like, entirely opt-in or opt-out.
It should be like that, to be honest with you. Taylor's way of playing Souls games is entirely valid.
Yes.
Like, I don't know why we should force him to PvP if he doesn't want to PvP. Like,
Yeah.
I love the concept. I love the system very much. It's, like, innovative in my opinion. But I totally get that it's a niche thing.
So, like,
And I don't think either, like, me or Chris should be left to feel bad about the game we're playing. Like, yes, protect me if I don't want to, but allow him to PvP all day long with those who are willing to do it.
Oh my god, yeah, if they took my ability away to people over who have chosen to allow me to fuck them over, then what's even the point? From my point of view. Like, if you're human, I'm gonna invade you.
So I guess, do you prefer, like, invading random people's world as they're, like, going along through the world? Or do you prefer, like, the arena style that they added in Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring?
Oh, that's a great question. I played both a lot.
Yeah.
I think I prefer invading. There's a lot more fun situations that can happen because of invading, and primarily it is just because of the fun that I'm doing it.
Yeah,
like, it's fun to duel people. Yeah, of course, exactly. It's very, very fun to fight people one-on-one, of course, but it's more like World of Warcraft PvP at that point, where, like, if I wanted a balanced experience, I should probably just find an arena partner and play World of Warcraft or something like that. I'm not expecting, like, the Souls games PvP to be balanced. In fact, a lot of people that I fight have way better equipment than me. But it's about outplaying them. It's fun. It's about like, all right, so you're down there and I'm up here, so I'm gonna surprise you and do a drop attack on you, and good luck dealing with that afterwards.
Yeah, and you can use the environment to your advantage and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very different PvP experience. Actually, it's something that I would say is kind of similar in terms of PvP. Weirdly, out of complete left field is, oh fuck, what's that pirate game called?
Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. That has such dynamic combat in it.
Yeah.
You can set up traps for people. You can send your boat out with explosives on it. Like, it's. I love that dynamic combat element of Souls-like game.
It's very funny you mentioned Sea of Thieves, because I literally just bought it on Steam because it now has private servers, so I can play by myself.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I don't want to play with randoms.
I was like, get that PvP out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I want to play by myself.
I just think it's so cool that there are situations in some games where you can set it up. You can be smarter than your opponent, not necessarily better gear, not necessarily better at your reflexes, but you can just be like, all right, I know they're going to come through here. I'm going to set this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that they added the arena and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't think there's anything quite like the actual invasions.
The actual invasions
I agree. I think the arenas...
I was just going to say they're a very unique gameplay mechanic that doesn't really exist in any other games at all.
It's true, yeah.
I think the arenas are great for an enclosed environment PvP, but yeah, it's a completely different feeling and experience to an in-world PvP. And I think both are valid, and I think both should exist.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've answered a couple questions.
Yeah, I think
we're
we
actually
have.
Gonna skip down, I think, to number 15. That some fans argue co-op, quote, breaks the intended difficulty of Souls-likes. John, do you think summoning allies cheapens the experience, or is it a valid way to play? Now, this could be human players, this could be the spirit summons in Elden Ring, just any sort of summoning mechanic.
Of course, I think it's a valid way to play. It's just a different experience. People say all sorts of systems in the game break the intended difficulty. Spirit ashes make it too easy. NPC summons make it too easy. Magic makes it too easy. Dex builds.
Everything that wasn't in the original Demon Souls makes it way too easy to play.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. People say I don't know, and then there'll be memes where people are like, "Oh, upgrading your weapon makes it too easy. Oh, using a weapon makes it too easy. If you're not beating it with your bare fists, are you even playing Dark Souls?"
Oh, you're using a controller? Too easy. You need to do it on a dance pad.
Exactly. Yeah, why haven't you hooked up a banana to your computer and used that as your controller, you casual?
Why haven't you trained your fish how to play it yet? Come on.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So yeah, I think it's just a different experience, and I'm all for more inclusivity and accessibility in games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have anything you wanted to add, or you kind of agree with that take?
It's pretty much the same. I really don't think I can add too much. I think that co-op is great. I've had a ton of fun with it, and I would probably not be playing Souls games to this day without co-op added into them, to be honest with you.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't think it summoning allies cheapens the experience. I think I choose not to. I don't really use Soul Ashes. I don't summon NPCs. I really only play co-op strictly with both of you guys. But I don't think I'm getting any more of an experience out of it because I choose to play it at I guess a higher difficulty.
Yeah, it's just different. Okay. Different experience.
Yeah. I choose to have that different experience. That's the one I want out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I agree that co-op is an option. Invasions, co-op, all that is an option. You don't need to engage with it, and I don't think it's fair to say other people shouldn't engage with it when, it's not hurting your experience.
Yeah.
Well, invasions, I think you could argue, do hurt someone else's experience potentially, but there are workarounds for that.
I've definitely heard other people's experience before.
So I think it's fair to have them. I don't think it breaks anything. I just think that's the way you want to play. That's the way you should be able to play. But speaking of breaking experiences, Chris, this is more for Chris, I think, at this point. Chris, invasions can create, memorable moments, but can also breed some really bad toxicity. Do you feel that invasions, as they stand, let's say in Elden Ring, because that's the most recent, big Souls-like game, are balanced between fair competition and trolling, or have they kind of slipped into one side more than the other?
No, I mean, it's definitely trolling-centric for sure at this point. The fair competition period comes out like every time they have a patch or, an expansion or something like that, then it's fair for about 2 weeks. But after that, it's absolutely trolling. It's not even close, I think. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because that means that a lot of the trolls are concentrated within individual areas. Which means that if you do want some high-level PvP, there are areas that you can go to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing. There is absolutely toxicity in Souls games. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. We just talked about a ton of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
we can't all get a good spum cumward.
Yeah, exactly. But there are so many good interactions in PvP, like you just said, spum cumward, that even though that was a hacker who screwed over our attempt at that boss or something, tried to.
Yeah. Totally.
It was still fun. It was still a ton of fun. That was trolling, that was toxic, and it was still a ton of fun. So I really don't know what to think about the balance between the two of them, because I like both of them.
Okay.
The Souls community is very trolling centric, I would say, and very competition centric.
Yeah. John, how about you, given your nod as invasion forward?
Yeah, what Chris said just makes me think of Dark Souls 3 and how hellish High Wall of Lothric is when you're playing in co-op. How many embers do we lose at the start of every playthrough because that is just twink central? It was always just impossible to get through that area. But then as soon as you got through it, you don't see the twinks anymore, and then invasions are a lot more fun. So, I guess it is good that the toxicity is, as Chris said, kind of kept to specific areas, like High Wall of Lothric in Dark Souls 3, and then if you get to the makeshift arena past Pontiff, that's just good old-fashioned PvP at that point. But there's I don't know. There is a lot of toxicity, but there's a lot of fun invaders too.
It's toxic, to be honest. You're right. There's a ton of invaders. The toxic people are a minimum, but there are a shit ton of toxic people that do just actually want to kill them.
Yes,
and it's in the early areas that I think is the most
always
problematic.
Because people the invasion is based off of soul level in most of the games, so you have to if you're a twink, you transfer plus 10 or plus 15, whenever you have equipment, to your twink, and that's it. You can
just
anybody.
bully new players. Yeah.
Yep. That's toxic.
Okay.
I would say that is toxic.
That is toxic.
Yeah. Intentionally doing that is toxic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really see good invasions in High Wall, but as soon as you get past it, then you're on the same level, it feels like.
Yeah, it feels like legit invasions in pretty much every area of every Souls game, with a few exceptions.
Okay.
Pontiff area, for the record, I actually really love that area. It's a fun area to PvP in.
Yeah, it's a super fun area.
Fair enough. There's a bit of griefing that goes on with the ladders around there for me.
Yeah, tons.
In the Pontiff area?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen, there's I think it's fairly recent, but there's a glitch you can do to get Pontiff out of his arena.
Can you really? That's awesome.
You can. So you can bring him to that PvP arena and summon invaders, and they just get destroyed by Pontiff, who's just hanging out there.
Nice.
Which is tremendous.
That's awesome. Okay. Also still toxic, but
absolutely,
funny.
but very funny. Memorable for the invader, I'm sure.
Yep.
They're expecting a little bit of PvP. They have to fight Pontiff.
Okay. So, John, if you could redesign any of these systems from scratch, what would you keep, or is there anything you would remove?
Jeez, this is such a hard one for me.
Like, I feel like you have the widest variety of Souls-like experience.
Honestly, okay, I feel like if we're going like all the way back to Demon Souls, like the games that the systems had never existed, I wouldn't put PvP in.
Really?
Yeah. Like I don't mind it being there, but like
Such
I feel
an
like
expected answer.
yeah, like I don't mind it, but like if I was redesigning it from scratch and like it wouldn't bother people because it had never existed, yeah, I would probably get rid of it.
Interesting.
Huh. Okay.
But yeah, like at this point, no, I would never do
Okay.
that because it is very meaningful to a lot of people. But yeah, like if nobody had ever known of it, get rid of it.
Fair, yeah, fair.
Interesting. Okay. Chris, how about you, bud?
Upgrades. I would take upgrades.
You would remove upgrades.
I would remove weapon and armor upgrades from the entirety of Dark
that's
Souls, Demon Souls,
fascinating.
and Souls-likes. I
Oh,
hate that mechanic
interesting.
so much. It feels so JRPG to me in a game that the rest of it is entirely skill-based.
Huh.
Interesting.
Okay. I
That
see
also-
what you're saying. I get it.
It also balances out PvP a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does. I agree.
I don't feel like it really fits. I understand it's a core mechanic of the Souls-like genre, but it just doesn't feel like it belongs to me.
Okay.
Do you feel the same about
Yeah.
like
Okay, I see
leveling
what
up
you're
your
saying.
stats though?
Kinda?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
kinda
it is
do.
pretty JRPG.
I kinda feel like the RPG aspect of Dark Souls, even though it's insanely popular, is superfluous to the series.
Interesting.
To me, it's,
Fascinating,
yeah,
okay.
it's all about the mechanics to me. It's all about the fun, the actual gameplay, in my opinion. I do have another one. Shit, what was that one? Let me think of it for a second.
All good.
No, I can't remember. I'll let you know if I do.
Okay. I think if I were to change something, I would honestly make the story not necessarily less obscure, but I would make like your main motivational goal more prominent while still keeping all of the hidden lore and the additional bits, behind pieces of equipment and stuff. I would keep that in there, but I think like, and this is again a big problem that I noticed with Thymesia, but also with other Souls-likes, is that they take that level of obscurity too far, and I think sometimes use it as a lazy excuse to not actually write a story and just put it in, like, oh, item descriptions, or oh, find these collectibles. Like, one, a Souls-like should never have a collectible. That is absolute garbage. But
I
also,
agree with that.
have a story, have character motivations, have a reason for me to do this other than the game says so. Like, that is lazy writing. That is just not, that is not engaging. That is not okay.
Interesting. So you always prioritize story in a game, right?
Not always, but I think it, so here's the thing. Here's what I've noticed about at least my experience with games and my experience talking to other people. A good story is sometimes, acknowledged as sometimes great. A bad story or a lack of story is always more noticeable than the presence of a good story.
Interesting. I feel like story is very, like, not as important as gameplay for me.
Yeah, me too.
And that's fair, but can you recall the last game you played that did not have a story overall?
No, but I play a lot of games.
That's fair. But my point in asking that is every game usually has a story. The thing that changes is the quality of that story.
Balatro.
And
Minecraft.
okay, Balatro's different because Minecraft has a story.
There's no story in Minecraft. There's just a story in the Minecraft movie.
That's a whole nother debate.
Minecraft
but
is
Balatro
a
is
Souls-like
serious
when you
when
think
it
about
comes-
it.
Do you want to have a podcast about this? Minecraft is a Souls-like. I mean,
Because of how the
Ender Dragon's a
story
real
is
hard
my-
fight.
fed to you.
You do have to manage. You do
Yeah,
have to
my
manage
point
resources.
is that like a Souls-like
True.
specifically needs a story of some kind to keep the player going, to have a guiding formula to say, okay, here's what you're doing, here's vaguely why you're doing this. You can fill in more details later, but having nothing or having go here, it kills me so much.
But
That's such a different take, in my opinion. Like, I think the story of Dark Souls, actually the story of Dark Souls was so profoundly impactful to me that I got a tattoo of it. Literally.
yeah.
But
Well, yeah, but there was a story there. Like that's
But-
the thing. It's not Souls-like that I have. It's not Souls that I have an issue with no story. They have a story.
what I mean is,
It's Souls-likes that don't have a story.
I loved the game so much. I played it to no end. And then I looked up the story. That's where I think we're differing. But
Discord is
yeah.
rough tonight.
So like I love Dark Souls' story. It was amazing. It was like it had a profound impact on my life, but at the same time I didn't even pay attention to it a single bit until after I had beaten the game multiple times.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a different
So-
experience, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna skip the next two questions again. I feel like we've already answered those two.
Yeah.
This one is, I guess, more for John, but also kind of for you, Chris. Do you feel the achievements are worth it, or have they become too stale and repetitive?
I said like the actual Dark Souls FromSoft achievements were worth it because the games are so meaningful to me. I think as long as a game doesn't need more than 2 playthroughs, then I'd consider it to be worth it.
Okay.
But like obviously the actual Dark Souls achievements are stale and repetitive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like probably the worst in the genre, but I needed to get them because they are the games for me.
That's fair. Okay. Now, Chris, you having not gotten all achievements in Dark Souls, how do you feel about the achievements that they offer?
I tried at one point in Dark Souls 3 and I got one of the meta achievements, like the collect all of one type achievements, and
Yeah.
it pissed me off so much that I've gotten most other achievements in most other categories, but never have even attempted another collection one in that. I think that those ones are so repetitive that like I just can't stand them. I actually love most of the other achievements in Souls games.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the collect all ones
Okay.
suck.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely they do. And I think, John, I gotta agree with you that, like, the core Souls games, they've absolutely become too stale. And I've seen a couple games, like Souls-likes, innovate on those achievement structures, but even then, it's not a formula that necessarily lends itself to a lot of creativity and diversity. And I hate saying that, because I love this genre, I love these mechanics, but, like, it is hard to say that they are a diverse set of things or open themselves up to a diverse set of opportunities.
It's true, like there's really only so many achievements you can do when like the game boils down to kill bosses, reach endings, collect things. There's only so much you can do at that point for achievements.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I think we can all answer this one. Is there an achievement type in Souls games that you always hate?
Collection.
Yep.
Yeah, mostly the collection. I like the acquire all unique weapons ones are pretty annoying, but like they're also like one of the only unique parts. Like in Dark Souls 1 where you have to like get a random shopping list of equipment. Like at least it's not just collect all spells, it's collect these random things. At least that's different.
That's more interesting.
Okay.
Just like collect all spells in like Dark Souls 3 sucks.
Yes. Especially because they normally need 2 or more playthroughs to get them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Dark Souls 2 was
Yeah,
2.5
okay.
playthroughs.
Yeah. Dark Souls 3, like I was trying for that one. I did like the whole long thing where you make Irina the new fire keeper and everything like that, just so you can get some new holy spells. And I learned oh, you have to play like multiple new playthroughs to get the rest of the achievements. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think like before I did them with Taylor, like I like did as much as I could, and I looked into like, oh, what am I missing? Oh, new game plus, new game plus plus. No, I'm good.
Yes, same as me.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an achievement type that you guys always enjoy in the Souls games?
I said no, there's like not really anything like too spectacular in them.
I really enjoy the boss killing ones. It feels kind of nice.
Okay.
I'm with Chris on that one. I do enjoy the bosses personally, but that's because I understand that the bosses are the core focus of the game.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think, I kill a boss, I feel good. There's a tiny little pop-up, and it's on my Steam account forever. I don't think it goes much further than that, actually.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Well, that's fair. Okay. Is there a way of playing more Souls-likes should have achievements for? Like, more things you should do be able to do in a Souls-like that should have an achievement?
Like, none that I can think of.
Oh my goodness, I have ideas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you beat a boss with above a certain percentage of health the entire time, beat a boss without, like, using an Estus flask or anything like that, those would be fun.
Okay.
Like more difficulty ones. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, traditional, more challenge-like achievements.
If you want that kind of experience, Chris, there's a 2D top-down like kind of Souls-like called Jotun that came out a couple years back that has achievements for that kind of thing, like beating a boss without taking a hit.
Yeah, I like those.
Like that.
I like those like skill-based achievements. Like, it's not necessarily about the amount of hours you put in; it's about how good you are.
Did you say a couple of years ago?
Huh?
Oh, don't tell me it was like 2012.
That was a decade ago, my man.
Holy.
Oh, God.
Wow, life sucks.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that
2015.
old. I didn't realize
I have gray hairs.
Jotun was a great game. I did enjoy it.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Man, it's been a
I think this is an important question for you guys. Chris, let's start with you because you have a little less experience. John's a little more. I think he'll have a more varied answer.
Yeah.
Is there a specific game that you would recommend for a first-time player? And what game might you suggest they stay away from?
Stay away from Sekiro. Not necessarily because it's bad, but because it is significantly harder than most other Souls games, in my opinion.
Yes.
Go to Elden Ring. Elden Ring is the best one to start off with.
Okay.
You go to Elden Ring first, you're going to have a great time. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Interesting. Okay.
Especially because Elden Ring's
John,
got
how about
so
yourself?
many tools to make it easier for you. Like, you've got the Spirit Ashes.
Exactly. You can customize your difficulty in Elden Ring.
Yeah, you got the NPC summons. You got the open world. If you're struggling on a boss, go to the dozens of other locations you've got. Yeah, Elden Ring's
It's awesome.
an easy starting one.
Yeah, it's the best one, I think.
Yeah.
John, what would you recommend they start with? You still Elden Ring?
Yeah, if I was doing like FromSoft ones, definitely Elden Ring.
Okay, what about non-FromSoft?
For non-FromSoft ones, I said stay away from Lies of P because it's probably the hardest non-FromSoft one. Unless you've got like Sekiro experience, but you're probably not a first-time player if you've got Sekiro experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
For like a Souls like to start with, probably Code Vein if you can stand the anime aesthetics, because it's probably the easiest because you've always got the option of an AI companion with you. If you want the challenge, you don't have to have them, but having them with you makes it a lot easier. And yeah, it's probably the easiest Souls like I've played.
See, I'm really different. Because what I said is I said start with the Dark Souls remastered.
Oh,
now,
that's not a bad
the reason
option.
I said that, the reason I say that is there are better games out there. We've already established there are better games out there. There are easier games out there. The thing about that is, and the thing that got me, is if you start with a later game, a more modern game like Elden Ring, Code Vein's a little bit different, but if you start with a, quote, easier game that has more quality of life features, it becomes that much harder to experience the older stuff, the older games, because they don't have those quality of life features. Now, I'm not saying play the hardest game ever and, experience the way they did back in the day. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is, if you are intending to just play one, play Elden Ring. That, like Chris and John have said, variety of features, relatively easy by comparison, unless you get to the DLC. And it's just the most accessible for the widest number of people, which is perfectly fine. But if you are looking to break into the Souls genre and experience more of the core Souls-like, I would say, don't start with Elden Ring, because you will have a harder time adjusting to the lack of quality of life features. So it depends on the experience you want, but I would absolutely say start with Dark Souls Remastered.
Yeah.
And then work your way up to kind of, again, introduce more quality of life features, but not be bogged down if you don't have them.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I would even say that Dark Souls 3 is a really good starting point in that same vein that you were talking about, where there's not many quality of life features, but like it's a better experience, just smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels smoother.
Okay.
Yeah. I think gameplay is what hooks people to like Souls-like games, in my opinion at least. So you don't want to start them off on Demon Souls, for sure.
No. Even the remake, no.
Yeah. No, it's just clunky. Like it's just what you said earlier. Like the game has to be smooth in order to hook people. That's, I think, what hooked a lot of us. Is like, oh wow, that boss attacked me, but I pressed the dodge button just in time, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing, is it works.
Yes, it's responsive.
When you dodge, exactly. When you dodge, you actually don't take damage, which is amazing. That shouldn't be a fundamentally game-changing mechanic, but it is.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. As for the one I said to stay away from, I put Monster Hunter Worlds because it's I can see how people classify it as a Souls-like, but it is just so devoid of the core Souls-like genre. It has Souls-like mechanics. It is not part of the genre, and I think some people will get confused about that.
Yeah.
But for a more serious answer, I did say Sekiro, primarily because if Sekiro clicks with you, first of all, you're one of my people. Second of all, you're gonna have such a harder time adjusting to the other more traditional Souls-likes that don't feel the same.
Oh my god, I'm not one of Taylor's
And I think it's going to forever influence your experiences and change the way you look at a Souls-like.
Yeah, and like Sekiro doesn't really have that many skills that transfer to Dark Souls and vice versa. Like Chris and I both have hundreds of hours in the Souls series, and we both like instantly bounced off Sekiro.
Yeah.
It's just a very different experience.
Okay, well, gentlemen, that will be it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate having both of you guys for the first time.
Thank you so much for having us on, man.
Yeah,
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between the so much for being here. I understand this was a different type of episode, but I think it was a fun one, and it was the only way, for right now at least, that I could get the two of them on together.
Hell yeah.
For now.
For now, we'll find something. We've got something in the works.
Yeah.
We're talking.
Might be something.
Noiseberry Podcast, upcoming, to be determined release date. Every single day.
We weren't talking about that, but sure. All right. We'll see you guys the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, I love you.